So I had to make this video. I usually make things so far outside of the box than most people, right? Which is probably why I'm targeted in the first place. Because unlike everybody else, thinking what they're trained to think, I think what I want to think and what I believe is true based on what I see. And most people don't even believe what they see. They believe half of what you hear. I say some of what you see. First, it was most of what you see, and then it became like some of what you see. Like they had to change the whole saying. That saying is old. Then it became believe some of what you see. Like, darn, that's how you know we can't trust nothing. Now we can't believe our own eyes in the name of Jesus. We can't believe what we see no more. But anyway, so I was thinking about before I draw a brain fart or whatever. And I was just thinking about how we are programmed, like mind control, all this good stuff, MK Ultra and all that good stuff. And MK Ultra can be like you being chipped or whatever. And then they can also be you just being heavily influenced by whoever, being heavily influenced by your parents, being heavily influenced by the media, being heavily influenced by what you see. So most of us grew up watching TV, being programmed by the TV, being programmed by what we watch, being programmed by what we see. Just mind control on epic amounts of level. Like, first of all, most of us can't even hear a noise without it triggering a thought. And if you hear a noise and you hear a song and it automatically trigger a thought or a memory, and then it automatically changes your mood and make you feel a certain kind of way, you've been mind controlled, right? It's just that simple. I feel like when you hear words, sometimes they can be such big words that they can seem like they're more complicated than what they are, and it really isn't sometimes that complicated. Like, for instance, like with the clone Tyrone thing, right? Oh, nobody wants to hear me. Sometimes, like it reminds me of when my friend used to make a joke, and I had like a really funny friend. I used to be like, I hate you, and it was like I really hated him, but it was just kind of like, darn, boy, you funny as hell. And the fact that you're making me laugh this hard is getting on my nerves. So anyway, but what I'm about to do is keep it so real that this is about to hate me. That's the reason why sometimes I have to prepare myself for it because I already know what's coming. So anytime, like I was saying, mind control can just be people influencing your feelings based on something. And that's just kind of how it is when it comes to that They Clone Tyrone movie. I made a video. I made this whole little made a whole little whatever, I guess, dialogue about this prior to, but my phone just randomly broke. But to be honest with you, that phone was lasting too long anyway. I dropped that phone so many times, it don't make no sense. I started for like, this phone is freaking darn. I know everybody with the iPhone, but them Samsung phones is built for it tough. Them Samsung phones is gonna hold up. I don't care what nobody's saying. I had that Samsung phone since like 2021, 2022, right around in there. And it's not even that I had it for so long. It's just that I've dropped it so many times with no box on it, no covering on it, and it just still lasted so long. Like the screen got scratched so many times. Like I was still dealing with it, still being bothered with it, and it was just still. And then it'll break, and then come back on. And then I was like, what? There was one time when it had broke and stopped working for me, and I just was praying about it, and I was like, Father, I don't have any money. I don't have any money right now. This is my only phone. This phone have all my resources in it. I need this phone to come back on. I think I had put it in a little rice because it had got wet while I was cooking in the kitchen. And afterwards, I was just like, this rice crap don't work. I took it out. I probably left it in rice for like an hour. I'm like, man, I started praying. I was like, you know what? I'm not even depending on the rice. I'm about to pray to the Lord. And that phone came back on the next day. Like, I woke up to the phone being on. Like, no lie. So anyway, God is good. Some people don't think it's the rice. I know it was the Lord. But anyway. So the They Clone Tyrone movie, people look at it like it's just people actually being cloned, and people probably is somewhere actually being cloned. I don't know. I remember when I used to be in New York, when I first moved to New York, and I used to be seeing people that look just like my friends down south walking around. I used to be like, is that did they follow me all the way up here? And then I'd be like, nah. Then I get close to them, I'm like, no. But like they say, everybody got a doppelganger, and I don't know if it's just everybody have somebody that look exactly like them, or it's being cloned. But I'm telling you, it probably had to be a couple of times when I first moved to New York, and I'd be in the train station, and I'd be like, is that? Get close to them and be like, nah, what they doing up here? Come close to them, be like, that's not them. So everybody got doppelganger. Everybody got twin. It might be clone. They probably is really cloning people. I do not know. But what I feel like is when you sit there and think about it is people are clones. Like people are doing the same thing, singing the same songs, rapping the same songs, listening to the same thing, dressing the exact same, thinking the exact same thing, eating the exact same thing. And if you go anywhere outside of that box, then you're penalized for it. You're persecuted for it. So yeah, you're a clone. If you a Mr. Me Too, you are a clone. That's how far we've come. In 2023, like it's okay for everybody to be the exact same. Like back when I was growing up, you had songs like Mr. Me Too. Remember Mr. Me Too by Pharrell? Like it was embarrassing for you to just bite somebody's swag and just really be, really just Me Too and everything somebody did. People didn't like you when it was like that. Like let's take it back to those days when, the Mr. Me Too days, when it was embarrassing for you to just steal somebody's whole right in their face and like we can't see you, I can see you. Anyway, so takes it back to like I was saying about us being programmed and the mind control, and that's basically the media saying, yeah, they clone Tyrone. Like it's Tyrones everywhere. All of the Tyrones are walking around the black neighborhood doing the same thing, and if you do anything outside of that, then you are a bad person. So yeah, they clone Tyrone. Basically, it really don't have to be as deep as people really being in a lab getting cloned. Like it could just be as deep as you're not allowed to be yourself. So whatever. Like I was saying about the propaganda, like the Truman Show thing, I really think they try to use us to like put propaganda out there. Propaganda is a real thing. Whoever controls the media controls the minds of the people. Whoever controls what people consume and see every day, you are in control of the people, So I think they try to use us to keep these narratives going. And, oh, don't trust your family because your family are all not trustworthy, and they'll stab you in the back, and look how her sister did her, and look how her brother did her. And that makes you sit there and think about your own life, think about how you can't trust your family. And that's like a big theme nowadays where, oh, don't deal with your family, da da da. Like, I think that me and my family, we were very tight knit, and I feel like that's another reason why we had to be harassed and targeted is because my family was really, really close. Like I grew up watching my friends fight with their sisters and have sex with their sisters' boyfriends, and deal with their sisters' significant others, and talking about their sisters openly to me. And I'll just be like, I would never, sit here and just badmouth my sister like that to you, and then just be okay with it and be acting like it's okay. Like we come from a very, very, very tight knit family. We lived in the house together, all of us at some point, even as adults. Like we were in our 20s, staying in my mom's and dad's house all together, splitting rent. You know what I mean? And that makes sense because family's supposed to be business. Me and my siblings aren't as close as we used to be, but that's the world setup. It's the world setup, especially for Black people. They don't like Black people to have any kind of unity amongst each other. We're not okay. It's not okay for us to be a family. They're trying their best every day to separate Black people in any kind of way, whether it be husband and wife, mother and father, sister and brother. They just don't want us together in general. And now it's everybody's on that same, family not what it used to be. We went from sleeping head to foot to now these kids nowadays don't even know their cousins, and we don't. And that's my daughter probably wouldn't know her cousins if she's seen them out in the mall. Like we don't hang out together no more. And I'm not saying that so we can start, because I don't want to, but I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out the facts. You know what I mean? Like, all that is due to propaganda and mind control and the media having it that way, because the only way to divide a people and the only way to conquer people is to divide them. And they basically try to use our lives as the Truman Show, you know what I mean, as examples of more propaganda, you know. And that's the reason why sometimes when I see them trying to set up propaganda, if I see them trying to make me have an argument with my mom, I see them trying to make me have an argument with my dad, I see them trying to make me have an argument, because we're being watched all the time. So we're basically reality TV. So we're more propaganda, you know what I mean? So that if I see them trying to make me have an argument with my mom, or make me try to have an argument with my children's father, or make me try to have an argument with somebody in my life, like, I'll just like, you know what? I'm just not gonna talk to you. Like, if I'm rather me go back and forth with you and us go back and forth to have it out and give, you know, and show more of a bad example to the public, like, I'm just not even gonna go there. I'm just gonna block you and talk to you when I can talk to you, because I'm not gonna be propaganda for the people. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be negative propaganda. Like, I'll talk to you when I could talk to you. I'm not even gonna sit here and go back and forth with you. I'm not gonna argue with you top of my lungs. I'm just gonna leave. Period. So, because I don't want to keep promoting BS. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the same thing with the narrative. Like, family's supposed to be business. You understand what I'm saying? And instead, they made it a competition. Everything's a competition. You know, and then you think about how many siblings you have, and then you think about when y'all grew up, and then you think about how much money y'all could have made together if y'all would have just worked together. How much money y'all could have got together. You know what I mean? You grew up with 4 or 5 sisters and brothers, and you grew up with 3 or 4 sisters and brothers. If you grew up with that many people, if you just thought about how much money y'all could have made together, instead of y'all trying to live these separate lives and everybody trying to get it on their own, and everybody trying to become successful by themselves. How much money you could have made with your brother? How much money you could have made with your sister if you and your sister would have split rent? And you know what I mean? How you could have avoided these dumbass relationships you would have been in if you would have just moved in with one of your siblings and y'all split the rent and y'all saved money. Y'all had a bank account. If you and your sister would have been working summer jobs, and you and your brother would have been working summer jobs, and you and your cousin would have been working summer jobs, and y'all was putting y'all money into a joint account, like, look how much faster you would have got on. You know what I mean? Look how much faster y'all would have, and how much further y'all would have went together. And y'all could be doing well right now, but look how much further and how faster that would have went about if you would have actually had a decent relationship with your family members. You know, but it's being single, being by yourself. It makes more money for the economy. You know, keeping people divided, everybody in their own individual house, paying their own individual rent and their own individual light bills. That's better for the economy, even when it comes to relationships. Husband and wife save money. You know what I mean? Being with and having a significant other, you're gonna save money. But is too busy hating on each other. Like, nowadays, men are hating on women and vice versa. Women are hating on men. But look how much money you could have saved if you would have stayed with your significant other. Y'all could have saved a whole lot of money. You could have been baked. Y'all could have had a joint account and went the distance. But that's not good for the economy. So of course the media is going to promote dividedness, separatism. Everybody have their own apartment. Everybody have their own bank account. Everybody have their own light bill. Their own that puts more money in their pocket. So I don't know. Avoid the propaganda. Don't promote the agenda. Stop this whole women hate men stuff, because I feel like that's what they were trying to do with the whole relationship bull crap. Like, let's stop that and yeah, learn how to coexist with people. I know in 2023, like in the middle of gang stalking, people are like, "Oh my god, how do you do that?" I don't know either. Who am I? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Like, stop the BS and the nonsense. If you would have been with your brother, your cousin, even if you would have stayed with your mom and you and your mom would have been able to get along, like a lot of people can't get along with their parents. If you'd have been able to stay in your parents' house for a longer period of time and save money there, and had an in-house babysitter instead of paying for daycare, because you know what I mean. So now you can't get along with your mom. You hate her. You done sacrificed her because a lot of y'all sacked y'all mama. We ain't gonna talk about that. A lot of y'all people that sacked y'all mama. We ain't gonna talk about that. Everybody, oh my god, I miss my mother on Thanksgiving. I miss my mother on. I wonder why you miss your mother on Thanksgiving. I wonder why you miss your mother on Christmas. Because you didn't sack sis, but it's okay. If you would never sack sis and you would have been able to stay with her and live a little longer, have an in-house babysitter instead of paying for expensive old daycare to go send your children to deal with God knows who and go be around other people's kids who are weird as who, you know what I mean? So that's what they try to do. They try to divide and conquer, and don't fall into the crap. Stay away from the agendas.